We got us a corpse and cartridge occasion.
When the free story DLC was announced, we all celebrated. But in this video, I want to talk about what could we possibly see play out in that story DLC. Now, I'm just going to throw out a general spoiler warning just in case I happen to be right. Some of the stuff I may talk about, you guys may not like it. I don't know. I'm just going to say spoiler warning. We're talking about story, free DLC, Jun Kazama, Reina, everything. Okay, first off, Jun Kazama. They said at the start of marketing Tekken 8 how important Jun Kazama is to the story, and they're bringing her back because they want her to make an impact. And you can argue whether or not she made an impact because technically she did. She gave Jun Kazama the light that he used to take down Kazuya Mishima, at least remove the devil gene from him. She also guided Jin to master his own ability, so she did something technically, but when we were watching Harada on stage doing all this talking, we seen the trailers, we expected so much more. We expected her to be hands-on, in action, getting stuff done, and we didn't get that. Now, what we did get at the end of the story is a teaser, cliffhanger. In the version where Jin wins, Harada said it's not a good ending or a bad ending, it's just for the player to interpret. But players believe that Jin ending is the real ending. And in that, Jun Kazama approaches a downed Kazuya Mishima. We see in her what if whatever, she's holding on to a blanket and she's thinking about probably Kazuya, it's a G-Corp blanket, and we just wonder, what will she do? I honestly do not know what they will say. Jun Kazama has been absent for over 2 decades canonically. If you think about it, we have never before seen modern Kazuya, anything after Tekken 4 Kazuya, interact with Jun Kazama. I cannot fathom how that will play out. If you asked me before he lost his devil gene what would have happened, I think he would have challenged her. I think he would have fought her. The intros to the characters that they have in the game currently says a lot. She says, I will save you. He says, I don't need saving. But now that the devil gene is gone, there really isn't no saving that needs to take place. I mean, you can argue maybe there is because he says he's still going to cause chaos and destruction. So maybe she can save him and guide him from that. But that aspect of the devil gene, it seems like it's a closed book now. Now it's just these two characters kind of reconnecting and their relationship being explored. That's one aspect of everything. We also could talk about how Jin and Jun Kazama is going to interact with one another, especially if Kazuya is there as well. She obviously will not allow them to fight, but technically, realistically, how do you prevent them from fighting each other? But what I want to really talk about is Jun versus Reina. Reina now, as it stands, is the only character who has the devil gene. And you have to wonder, one, how did she even get it? I made a video when the game first came out and I was talking about how she kept on trying to figure out a way to unlock her devil gene. If you notice, she challenged Jin, she challenged Kazuya multiple times, and then finally, after getting hit by the laser, it was enough for her to unlock her devil gene, and now she can enact part 2 of her plan. We've seen a glimpse of that by her trying to hire Nina Williams. Who else will she bring on to her team? I'll just say out pretty quickly because it's kind of a small point, but it's straightforward. Kuma. I think Kuma will join Reina just by force. It's already kind of alluded to in Reina's ending and stuff like that. We have pictures and videos and whatnot. But here is some dialogue that was found in the game but is currently unused. When Reina beats Kuma, in her outro, she says, "You fail as a Mishima family pet. I shall retrain you, dumb beast." Now, I like this because it shows the evilness, the ruthlessness of Reina. Heihachi kind of had that energy too, but she is taking it one up a notch. But if we look at Kuma, his fish is a Mishima Zaibatsu weapon. The Mishima Zaibatsu currently as it stands is absent in the story of Tekken. The only other time it's mentioned is in a stage that also is not in the story.
When you explode the wall, that helicopter get hit. You guys see that helicopter right there? Look at it. Oh, it hit the building. Have you ever noticed that before? Oh thing's falling. What the heck? I never noticed that.
So she has a Mishima throne, she has a Mishima dojo, she has this Mishima satellite rocket launch facility. She seems to be getting Kuma to go along with her. She can now fly and shoot lasers and do all of this crazy stuff, and she has the full power, or the remaining power, of the Mishima Zaibatsu to do so. So what happens? Who is there to stop her? Here's the thing. Another unused dialogue is between Reina and Jun Kazama. This is the intro to Reina, and she says to Jun Kazama, "Vile woman, shouldn't you be dead?" Reina having the power of the Devil Gene and seeming pretty powerful because of it, Jun Kazama having the power to nullify that Devil Gene. I thought she was going to do that to Kazuya or Jin. Same thing with Claudio and Zafina. I thought one of them were going to take their Devil Genes away. But now we have another character here who has the Devil Gene, and she definitely can do that. But see, it's so weird because, well, one, Reina's new, right? So I'm assuming they're going to want her to have that Devil Gene for quite some time. But at the same time, if she crosses paths with Jun Kazama, I mean, we've seen how easy it was for Asuka to use her powers even though she didn't know how to do it. The Jun Kazama power is a trump card to the Devil Gene. Even though the Devil Gene is like more powerful, it just can't keep up. These two characters butting heads and clashing is kind of unpredictable. I think this will kind of be the Reina versus Jun arc that launches us into Tekken 9, where the Mishima Zaibatsu is kind of back on top, but with a new person leading the charge. And this time, for the first time ever, with Jin and Kazuya as the underdogs, where they were in control and had so much power for so long. I'm expecting the script to be flipped and we to see them not in that position. Reina existing as this Heihachi's daughter, you know, this Heihachi's vengeance kind of thing. How will that play on his mind, and how will we see him adapt to that situation? You have someone else out there now who is stronger than you. You can't just fly over there and beat her up. She possibly will fly and find you. It flips everything that we know about Kazuya. I want to see how he reacts to Jun Kazama, to Reina, and also Jin in the same way. Also too, let's talk about Eddie. I know I'm kind of bouncing all over the place, but this is just my ideas of the story DLC before it comes. Eddie also will play a role into it, and in the past, the last time we seen him, he was teaming up with Jun Kazama, and also Nina was helping them. But then once that whole thing was done, he then went his separate way and he attacked Kazuya Mishima. Canonically, he was stopped by Lucky Chloe and he kind of retrained himself. Yoshimitsu saved him. But what will his role be in the story that's different and separates him from the other characters? One thing I will say, lastly, is my expectations is far lower now. Before the game came out, I had all these ideas of what Claudio would do, what this character would do, what that character would do. Seeing the route that they went in the main story, I think this time around, it will be solely like the Reina, Jun Kazama, Kazuya, Jin show.